Nah,
Oh, you
there
know
it is.
what?
Oh,
I did it.
what's
I did it in the video. I did. My bad.
what? What's
I
up?
was supposed to put it in the. I put it in the wrong area. In the wrong. Hey, so we're here. You can hear us. Hello, everybody. Welcome
Yeah.
to Side by Side Live.
Hello. Glad you're here.
Glad
Good to have you. We have caller number one. Caller one, how are you doing this evening?
Hello, caller one. How's it going?
Oh, it's going great. It's fantastic. Oh, I can barely hear y'all over this music. Man.
So loud there, huh?
Well, listen, caller number one. Just listen with your ears and not with your head.
Guys, with your loud hardcore music, I can't stand it anymore.
That electronic music that you guys have.
Back in my day, we had music. This is all Jimmy Jimmer.
Back in my day, we could see the people we were watching.
Oh, you know what I forgot to do? I forgot to take down the thumbnail. There we go.
And caller number one just hung up.
Oh.
What a little bee.
Oh.
Caller number
here we go.
one.
I thought this show is PG-13 so we can say the little B.
Yeah. Oh yeah. We're gonna say the little B. F that B. F that B right in the A.
And we have no warm up. We actually, I had to start the show. We usually do 8:00. Today I would do something after this at 9. So I was trying to see if we can get the show going at 7. And we're ready. So now, welcome.
Doing
to
my
Side by
stretches
Side.
right now, warming up.
We need to warm up. We're just jumping into it. Because with going live, we are at a time crunch. No really there to get like warmed up at all.
You know what? We've been doing this for going on almost 2 years now. We're warmed up. We are warm. We are lukewarm. Hello, Mark.
What's up, Mark Lamb?
Oh man, yeah. And on May 25th, you say hello there, just like Kenobi. That trailer dropped this week. It was amazing. I cannot wait to see. I don't understand why he's not Sir Ian McGregor yet. But that I'm sure that'll get resolved eventually. Yeah, Star Wars, man. The Obi-Wan Kenobi series is going to be fantastic. I cannot wait. And yeah, that's all I'm going to say about that. We do have 2 amazing movies this week.
We do.
I gotta
say, I'm happy that we are here. I'm happy we got here, and I'm happy that we're gonna get to do this one live. Because
yes, after episode 3, the technical 3, we knew we were gonna get here some way, shape, or form. All right,
Yeah.
And I don't doubt that the option arose to possibly put the third Mummy in there, but I really hope it didn't because that movie it does not meet expectations. And that's the nicest possible way I could say that.
Yeah.
Because I would like to say that movie's trash. I would love to say that live on air, but I'm not gonna. All right.
The Mummy 3?
The Mummy Tomb of the Dragon Emperor?
Yeah.
Are you kidding me? All right, first off, you know what? We're just gonna get this over with. All right. That movie, it didn't have Rachel Weisz in that. I'm pretty sure that's how you say her last name. If not, I'm so sorry for the mispronounce. Oh, what do you got, Butcher? What do you got for us?
It's Vice, like the W's of V, like Raquel Weisz.
Okay.
Not Rachel Weisz if you want.
All right. Well, we'll go Rachel Weisz.
Rachel Weisz right here.
And she's a repeat offender now. Not only between these two, but with Constantine as well. She was also in Black Widow. Which is a great movie. And I feel like that's her most recent. I'm sure she has other stuff. Oh wow, they already have the South Park episode on here. They're really churning those out.
I am caught up, but
you watched it already?
Yeah, not that one, not the newest one. I'm caught up on the other. I missed like the other 4. But tonight we'll talk about the third one. But let's get started with The Mummy, 1999, PG-13, 2 hours 4 minutes, action, adventure, fantasy. at an I always mess this up. Archaeological dig in the ancient city of Hamunaptra, an American serving in the French Foreign Legion accidentally awakens a mummy who begins to wreak havoc as he searches for the reincarnation of his long lost love. Director Stephen Summers,
I think it's Steven.
Stephen Summers,
I believe
and
so.
then he's the screenwriter, and he wrote the story. On this one, it's like they took it from like the book as well, and then it stars Brendan Fraser, Rachel
There's a
Weisz,
book.
yeah, and John Hannah, and we're writing that one along with The Mummy Returns, 2001, PG-13, 2 hours 10 minutes, action adventure fantasy. The mummified body of Imhotep is shipped to the museum in London, where he once again wakes and begins his campaign of rage and terror. Director Stephen Sommers, writer Stephen Sommers, and stars again Brendan Fraser, Rachel Weisz, and John Hannah.
You know what's great? That's an interesting interpretation of the Mummy Returns. Is he's shipped to the British Museum? Not that he was intentionally dug up by the British Museum. Well, I
No,
guess he was, since that guy was the curator. I never even
yeah.
put that together till
Actually,
just this moment,
do you have one playing
live.
right now?
Yeah, the first one.
Yeah, I gotta put that one on.
Okay, I gotta say, man, I love the opening scenes of both of these movies. I love they do the build up to it so well, like
Yeah.
getting you to a good part in the story. They catch you up. It's like the Star Wars scroll, but
Yep.
an action version of it. And I thoroughly enjoy it. You know, you get it's a real short, simple story, but you get a lot told in a little bit of time. All right, you get a build up, and then boom, they throw you into the story. And I vividly remember watching The Mummy in 1999, another class of 1999. Yeah, I think I did see it I don't know when it came out. I imagine the summer or something like that. Let's see. But I do remember watching it like around Halloween. Um, and when they showed The Mummy, scared the ever living, but geez, when it came to life, scared me. I was scared. I was 9 years old. I was a little titty baby. I was scared. All right. And even, I mean, it's not near as scary today, but man, does it jump out at you. You
Yeah.
know,
I'm,
it
I think we're gonna have to go with like I think we're just gonna have to talk about it real quick and let's just get it. Let's just pull the band-aid off and let's talk about the obvious things about these movies. They did not age well. The CGI is not
okay. No,
so. No,
that's not
I'm not saying they look horrible. I'm just
in
saying
the
they.
Mummy Returns. The Rock. That's the only
Yeah.
one that
I
didn't
mean,
age well.
I could see some. I mean, also like when they're in the boat, when they're hovering in the boat in the water, they're doing the fake water. This doesn't look real. I mean, it's
Oh, in
2001.
the first one.
Second one. When
Oh,
they're
oh,
flying, there, it's not. There's certain scenes, but like also like there's a few.
oh,
There's some
flying in the
CGI.
boat. My bad.
But what I'm trying to get to is like now I'm understanding what the Universal monsters meant because a lot of people hated the Mummy and they don't like they crapped on my boy Be Fresh and I was like, no, that's not why. Just
They
because
they didn't like the
yeah, a lot of
Mummy.
people didn't like the Mummy, and I was like, because they were talking about the Universal monsters like the Dracula, the Wolfman,
Mm,
Frankenstein, the Mermaid or Merman, and then the Mummy. And they this is the Boris Karloff the Mummy version like
yeah.
so they're like they have the Invisible Man and all those
Hmm.
so they a lot of people didn't like that and I understand why because those are like practical effects movies like I got it right here look at that and those movies
A
are
little bit lower.
whoop, right here.
Yeah, there it is.
There it is. Yeah, I got
Okay.
it. I was at the half price books and they had it there and I was like, "What? We're doing this movie." So, but I think the second one where he takes the mask off, Imhotep takes the mask off and it's all
Hmm.
CGI and I was like, "Man, if that would have been like prosthetics or made it look like real life like prosthetics looking, it would have looked scary. The reveal would. I'm not taking it away. I still love these movies. So just letting you know that. But I think a lot of it, what do you call it? A lot of it takes a lot of bad rep because of the CGI. Or I don't know. There's nothing really bad I don't like. There's nothing I don't like outside of that. Like I mean, yeah, the CGI is just a little bit dated, but outside of that, these are great stories. These are great
Yeah.
movies. And I even like the way I never picked up on this when I would watch this when I was younger. I watched these movies a lot. I think it's all totally for the action, but the story actually is they connect, they intertwine,
They're
and that,
really good. They're really good stories.
and then you see them
Like,
from a different angle.
yeah. Well,
So
and I'd like to just kind of talk on that a little bit. The CGI and the practical effect. I think in retrospect, a lot of movies in this time frame would have gone practical effect if they thought that would have sold better. You know what I'm saying? I think people at in 1999, 2001. I mean, hell, even look at Matrix Reloaded, um, and Matrix Revolutions in 2003. I would say that um, The Rock in The Mummy Returns looks a lot like Neo whenever he's flying. Like they are
yeah,
similar in that they don't have facial, they don't have lines. They're
they
just
have
smooth.
shadows.
They yeah,
They look too cartoony.
they do, and they don't look like a real person. But I think that's what The Mummy was trying to do at first. I think it was just trying to show how far we had come as far as practical effect or CGI and everything like
I think
that.
I think I think they tried to just take it on head on as a CGI movie. Like they were
Well,
going to say we're going to do CGI because also like you had said in 2001. I think in this time, I think after '99, people were like, let's start doing all these digital movies. And I think that's when it starts. The 2000 movies start getting kind of crappy. There's some movies
yeah,
that are like, and I think there's like a lot of movies that you think had high expectations. Like I will say for The Mummy Returns, I was so excited that The Rock was in it. Like I
yeah.
was like, hell yeah, he's in
And it
this
was The
movie.
Rock. He was
He's
credited as The Rock. He
he's The
didn't.
Rock.
I was looking back through that. I was like, damn, this is like one of his first like movies, like where he
Yeah.
was. I mean, he didn't have a lot of screen time. Let's be
Nah,
real,
only in the
but
beginning. The second one's CGI Rock,
it
but
spurred a whole movie for him. Like,
yeah. Oh yeah, he
and
does the Scorpion King.
yeah, he has a Scorpion King. I don't know if he was for the second. Dude, they made a lot of Scorpion Kings actually. But yeah, man, I just think with the Mummy, I think the CGI effects are awesome. Um, and just saying, I think the Mummy, and maybe some not so much the Mummy Returns like you said, but I think it totally holds up CGI because it's not relying too heavily on it. Where I think that's why they went heavier in the
I
Mummy
think
Returns, is because it works so well. I feel
I
like
don't I don't think I don't think it's good at all. Like especially having a
in
background in this.
in the
Like I
in
don't.
the Mummy.
Yeah, both of them. I think they went way too heavy on the CGI. So I'm not saying they're bad. Like the story
Yeah,
it doesn't break me out, but just what I'm seeing where at that time frame what they could have made. Like I could see how it could have like it's clearly a lot of it's green or blue screen.
yeah,
So I'm like, okay, it's like they went for it. Like they said, we're gonna do this CGI, and it's good, and I enjoyed it, and I loved it as a kid, and I loved it as an adult, and I could see now. I'm like, oh, I'm just saying, like if I was like older when it came out and watching it, there I'd be like, well, look at that, because
yeah,
you'd have certain things to compare it to, exactly like the Matrix, exactly like even like Monster Squad, the way they do though, or like their movies with their monsters, or their versions of like the Mummy and whatnot. Like it just like it really, I want to say that it pushed the boundaries for other movies, and I'll say that it's okay. Like I'm not putting it down whatsoever. Like I
yeah,
love it. I love it. I'm just saying they went heavy on the CGI. Like they could use a lot more practical effects. The only time they really use practical effects are on like the bodies after they got drained in the first one, and
yeah,
then like in the second one you don't really see them. But I mean I love the death of like the guy getting like picked up and sucked on the sand, and
hmm,
then the other dude like what do you call it? He takes his eyes and takes
yeah,
his tongue, and then I totally I think I like that's when you get to see Evie's Evelyn's like her change in character from she goes like Sarah Connor. In the first one she's kind of like just pretty and smart and intelligent and uses her wit. And the second one she's fighting, kicking ass, to like use shooting guns, and even that part she tells her brother Jonathan, she says, that's my husband and that's my son. If there's any time you need you to make me proud, and he's like, hell yeah. Like that part, I was like, oh shit, that's a
yeah.
deep, it's a deep line.
It see, and that's the great thing about these movies is
This is
they
my
ride.
aunt Linda
Oh,
voice.
hello.
Yeah.
Thank you for joining us. I gotta say we love these movies a lot too. Um, but yeah, no, man, I think and so I agree. I agree that you got to see a lot of development in the characters, whereas it's kind of funny because Evie and Rick, they don't necessarily switch roles, but they kind of are able to use one another to be better people. Kind of, you know what I'm saying? Like
They've
Rick is a
learned.
lot softer in this
It's
movie.
Not yeah. Well, he's also a dad. That's what I like about the
Yeah,
character. You see him grow from like this hard badass that was like got hung and his neck didn't break, and then you see him like as a
which is
father figure.
real. That actually happened.
What?
He almost died during that scene.
Oh crap! He almost got hurt. For real?
Yeah, he was actually he was suffocating.
Oh wow. So that's
Yeah,
him on screen. We're watching
yeah.
him suffocate. Oh damn.
Hmm.
That's intense. That's why my boys, damn, that does scare me. Like I did a movie one time and they got like a real knife and like I put it next to my neck and I was like, nah, I don't really like that shit. Like we could fake this shot. Like you don't need to. He had it backwards too, and I was like, that don't no, dude. Like,
Mm-mm.
get this damn hunting knife away from me.
Yeah, no.
you know.
Let's see here. It's one of the first trivia's on IMDb. It says Brendan Fraser nearly died during the scene where his character is hanged. Rachel Weisz remembered he stopped breathing and had to be resuscitated.
Damn, that's
Yeah,
insane. It's a lot of trauma
yeah,
there. And the first
exactly,
one,
man.
damn, yeah, that's right, because he falls. But he does. I mean, they don't really. I see. Like I said, it's more like a Sarah Connor arc
Hmm.
where I saw her like she didn't really fight in the first one, and the second one she's just completely changed. But you don't see Rick as like he's vulnerable. No, he's just a little bit. He could tell they rubbed off on each other, like they've been in a relationship, and that's why like that's good. That's good writing. Little things like that. It's good directing. It's good showing little things like that.
I agree. Now, how much of her fighting and fighting knowledge comes from her previous life? Because it had like she had been having these dreams before we actually saw her.
Oh, you're talking about from the second one?
Yeah. Now the shooting and everything, that's Rick, no doubt about it. But like her
Like,
her going and fighting and
are
everything,
you?
I think that's I
She's a
don't know
sleep.
if that's all Evie.
Are you saying she's a sleeper cell?
I'm saying that she's possessed, just like from Constantine. No,
Oh God, yeah.
no, it's really interesting.
Oh wow, look at
How
these.
these
Look at these ones, Ben. These ones.
what you got?
Look, I got this person right here. Look at this.
Online
Naked dude
strips without
strips.
clothing.
God,
Oh man, shucks.
God
Too bad.
damn.
Too bad we're live.
I gotta block them. Look,
Um.
damn. This person. Damn. That's crazy. It just started going. Brrr.
Oh, did it come on again? I
I
think it
blocked
did.
them. I blocked them.
Okay.
I blocked them again.
But yeah, man. No, this movie is ah. I'm sorry, man. Okay with this. I want to go back to the CGI real quick
Yeah.
because I don't mean to get hung up on it, but I think the reason why I'm saying not even reason why I'm saying they definitely doubled down in the Mummy Returns with the CGI with um the effects that they were able to come up with in the 2 years in between the movies, whereas in the first one, yeah, you have a lot of cool off-screen deaths where you see the guy with the sand and you just kind of get those, okay, yeah, he's getting drained kind of thing, but you don't
Yeah.
actually see it happening. Whereas on the train they show him sucking the life out of somebody, and
Yeah.
it was awesome. It was cool. I remember as a kid like seeing that and being like, hell yeah. Like now, was it necessary? No, but it's like we're gonna bring that mummy back. We're gonna make him even more badass. He could levitate shit like without even like he was just like moving his hand, and people were like, "Oh god!" Like he had the force in the Mummy Returns. I don't remember that happening in the first one. I could
Yeah.
be wrong, but
You could see a little
but
bit more of his
it may be
powers. You can
well,
see more
maybe
of his.
because the year of the scorpion.
Yeah, that's true. And you can see more of his powers. Like in the second one, like he's kind of. I'm like, okay, the mummy has like just the same recurring powers, and like the water thing. I think he could just kind of manipulate it. The sand manipulate it. He doesn't really do anything else outside. I mean, he could drain your life like Shang Tsung, but okay, look at this. Look at this with the practical effects. Check this out. This is what I love about we can do this nowadays, even if we go live. Look how bad this looks. Why this sucks so badly? like,
Yeah, I don't disagree.
oh yeah, what they did redo it. Look, I forgot about this. Somebody did go online and they fixed it, and it looks way better. Look at
I
that.
bet you they should do that. I would not mind if they made older movies like that look better.
I
That's
bet.
that's acceptable.
Well, I'd say as long as they keep them both around, they don't just get rid of the doll deploy.
Yeah.
So we gotta show.
Yeah,
It's like
see that looks exponentially better, but I feel like the top one is a better representation of the time because I feel yeah,
well,
another
let
thing
me just
too is
That's
I
what I'm
don't know,
saying
man.
though.
I think I have a lot of nostalgia built up about both these movies, and so it's hard for me
Yeah.
to hear criticisms about them just because I want to go to bat for them.
Hmm.
Um, but and I remember being so excited about The Mummy Returns too, because I feel like The Mummy was one of the first movies that I watched like on my own. I was like, oh shit, that scared me. I got to toughen up. So I rewatched it by myself and like, inundated myself with all the mummies scaring you. And I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
Until I almost like made myself numb to it because I didn't want to be scared by a mummy. This is a movie.
But
It's supposed to be fun.
and I get you now, and I'm totally following with you. Like, and it's cool that you're right. There's a lot of nostalgia there because, like, all I'm trying to say is if you can compare it to, like Goro in 1995's Mortal Kombat.
Yeah.
Yeah, you see the way he looks. Like
Yeah.
he's like practical, right?
Yeah.
So it like kind of like that. I mean, here's the CGI Goro. But look all that detail you could put in with the shadows and
Mm-hmm.
all that. But like I'm not expecting that in 2001. But this is in 1995, so or shot 94. Like should be able to get something like close to the Scorpion King like that.
Yeah, and
But
they could have mixed them. They could have mixed practical and CGI, but I don't think that was really what they were trying
nah,
to. They were
I
trying
think
they
yeah.
they were playing with technology, man. They
Hmm.
they had something and they were trying to tweak it and make it look as cool as possible. They were trying to, draw people in because I feel like you saw that Scorpion King in the trailer, or at least you saw that version of The Rock with him like looking all crazy and stuff. I don't know if you just saw The Rock as it,
What do you
I feel
mean?
like you like in the trailer and everything whenever they were advertising for the movie, I feel like you got The Rock
I got
as that CGI character, So
no
you
I
knew what you were getting into.
no I got no because I got it from WWF. WWF was promoting like crazy the
Really?
the Rock, yeah, and that's why I was like, hell yeah, I'm gonna watch the Mummy. But then it was Brendan Fraser. I mean, the Brendan Fraser was I already knew it, and I saw the WW was they were promoting it like crazy for the Rock and the return. So I remember being like, all right, he's in it. Like I just knew like I was gonna go watch it, but I never saw because I remember being surprised when I saw it in the movie theater and being like, oh, it kind of looks like him. But I wasn't like it sucked. I was like,
Yeah.
it kind of looks like him. But I just remember watching that. But I remember I got it from the wrestlings because they're promoting it like crazy.
Interesting.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Well,
I never
my
saw the
brother
trailer
watched a lot of wrestling. Maybe that's no. I don't know. I watched a lot of
because
movies, so I'd watch trailers before the movies
even
back
like
in the day.
when Doom came out, I was like, hell yeah, The Rock. Like I was like I was watching those
Yeah.
movies just because he's in it, and then
It's kind of it's crazy, man. Like 20 years later, he's
shit, he's
like
in everything.
yeah.
You know, it,
He
I started
he
thinking
wa-
about it about
go-
Shaq. Shaq's like in every commercial. He's probably a gazillionaire. Like
Oh
Shaq
yeah.
is, and he's basically because he's huge. I mean,
Yeah.
The Rock's a big ass dude, and then you see the picture of The Rock and Charles Barkley, and then they make it's like Shaq, Charles Barkley, and The Rock looks like a little kid, like so tiny, like, and then he's like it's just insane because the Shaq is huge, and that's why like
Well,
he can make money for being huge.
and everybody knows who Shaq is. He was a big ass NBA star. I mean, hell, even he had what was it? Kazam.
Kazam. Oh, remember with
Yeah.
scary movies when they say, "Why don't we get Shaq? No one can stop him." Like,
Yeah.
they also say like, what's your favorite scary movie? Shazam. That's not a scary movie. Have you ever seen Shaq act? Like,
Yeah.
but
No.
but the
But
like,
yeah.
he was already big, but even big back then, you like, I don't know. I think now it's harder to be like huge, and he's huge.
Yeah. No.
But I mean, but watching the Mummy, and I like yeah. So the CGI. I mean, I said it's forgiving. I'm not like saying it like I hate it. I could tell why when we get to probably the Rotten Tomato score is what we'll hear, and we'll go from there.
Okay. Okay. You're just trying to lessen the blow. I feel you now.
Yeah.
But I gotta say the story. I can't get over it. Just how they they make things obvious, but in a subtle way in both these movies. Like the guy, Evie's boss, like how he's intentionally burns the map, but you honestly kind of think it's an accident at first. Like it. I mean, like I said, I
Yeah.
was younger when I watched it, so I was stupid, not making connect. Not stupid, but I wasn't paying attention,
Yeah.
and so I wasn't making
Stupid.
connections. Stupid.
Stupid.
Uh, but yeah, I think that's just so neat. I think another thing too is after Moon is after she in the Mummy Returns, after her soul comes back to Emotep or from Emotep, she only speaks in ancient Egyptian. She doesn't speak English anymore.
True. And also, I was wondering about that. So in the returns, when she takes her power, her life, it's not her anymore. So that girl, basically, because he says, I'm her, and he goes, well, only in body, and that was a pretty cool line. I was like, oh, that's true. Like he knows it looks like her, but it's not her. And then he actually puts her spirit in her. So I'm wondering if the original girl is dead, like she died, like because she gave up her soul for. I'm wondering, like, because her
Yeah,
body.
yeah. Well, it also kind of begs the question too of like what happened to what was it, Nefertiti? The Pharaoh's daughter in the Mummy Returns.
Oh
Did she
yeah.
did she jump off the balcony? Is that why Evie jumped?
I don't know. I don't know. That's true. Like it's so
Because
crazy. She almost died in that. That's like a yeah. She almost died in that scene.
so maybe you are onto something there. Is like Evie was living that life, so therefore she could die. Well, no, that wouldn't make sense because if she did jump off
She died.
and died, and she would die. But they did bring her out of it too.
What's
I don't know. That's a little tricky, but yes, I think the short answer is I think that girl died, and then Moon took over her soul.
yeah.
Either that, or we got a get out situation, and there's
What,
two people trapped in one
oh
body.
god, that too. That's right. Like us.
But she's no. That was Get Out.
Get out. There's two people with one body. Oh well, yeah. That's true. Well, that's true because it's the
Two
brain.
two souls in a body. Yeah.
Yeah. It's right because they could see, but they can't. They can't do
Hmm.
anything about it. But like I cracked up so hard. The part at the end with returns where the yeah, what do you call it? Evie goes back to save Rick, and she pulls him out of the pit, and then Imhotep is like, "Agnu Sumunamum," and he goes, "Save me!" She goes, "No," and she runs away.
And then
but she
dies
says,
anyway. Yeah.
but she says, "No," and she runs away. Like I was just
Yeah.
laughing because I saw that on the caption. Like she literally says, "No," and then I'm like, "Damn!" So she tried to like just she did him, and he was like,
She spoke English for once.
"Yeah,
To
no."
tell.
She hit her
Better
love.
there. Oh, dude, what if that is that other girl in there, and she was like, no,
Well, I don't know. I think no is universal in all languages. I think
no,
no
because
is
they were
no.
saying
Oh,
it
nay.
was yeah,
And then NYA,
NIY.
NIY, yeah.
Yeah.
And then he goes, what do you call it? Also, that was another one where it said no, and it said nay, and at the bottom said no. Like it captioned it like no. So I was
Yeah.
like, yeah, these different language. I mean, these are very clever movies.
Yeah.
These aren't dummy movies. These are action movies with like a little like more fan base. There's a lot of character actors in this movie.
Yeah.
And I did want to get to them because we do have quite a few, not really repeat offenders, but character actors, like people that kind of like we've seen them in other movies, but you can't really recognize them, or like you don't know their name. But I mean, we'll start off with the three leads in this movie, or there's the four leads because you have the lead, my boy Brendan Fraser,
Mm-hmm.
and then we have Rachel Weisz, and then we have is it John Hannon or Hannah?
John Hannah. Yeah.
Hannah. And then what's this guy's name? Arnold.
Arnold Vosloo.
Vosloo. There it is. Yeah.
That's
So
my
like,
best guess.
and he's also like where's he? He's usually a villain, and mostly, but he does a great job. As
Yeah, he was in GI Joe.
G.I. Joe.
He was. Oh
Zoltan.
no,
That's
he
right.
was. Yeah.
Yeah,
There you go.
yeah. He's in it. Yeah. It says like his top four bills are The Mummy, Blood Diamond, The Mummy Returns, and then G.I. Joe's. But he's done a
Yeah.
lot. He was also like in Under Siege, I believe. Like I think Steven Seagal killed his ass.
Oh.
Casey Ryback, I think he kills him. Yeah, he's been a villain actor for a while. There's a lot of like he's also Hard Target. There he is. He's in Hard Target. He's in Dark Man 2. These movies don't Dark Man 3. These are good movies from from the B scene. But they don't get much love, but they're great movies.
There you go.
He's been in quite a
Damn.
few things.
Yeah, he has.
And I did like his. I what do you call it? The part where the Scorpion King like bum rushes up and he's like, I'm a servant. I'm a servant. I
Yeah.
was like, you little bitch. And then he goes, and that guy said he's here to kill you. Like he got that from Benny.
Yeah, man. But I mean, it worked for the time being. Like, and the Scorpion King didn't kill him, so I mean, he's a survivor, man. He knows how to play his cards, for sure.
I
And
thought it
he
was.
knew his, huh?
Oh,
What's
no,
up?
what were you gonna say?
I was gonna say, I mean, he was fucked with the Pharaoh at the beginning, so he's like, all right, I'm gonna,
So, so the second one is they get Imhotep, they bring him back to life to fight the Scorpion King, right? Is that was they?
So to kill the Scorpion King and take over his army. Yes.
Yeah, okay, so that's why they did it. I mean, the villains in the second one, they still have like, well, the side villains, I guess. There are no really no side villains. I mean, just Benny in the first one.
Yeah,
So
and then Lock Naw in this one.
yeah,
Uh, and he's actually a repeat offender. He was in
was
Suicide Squad.
oh, that's true.
Yeah, yeah, he
Yeah, he's
was.
a Killer Croc.
Yeah. Wait, did we watch the old Suicide Squad?
No, we did the remix.
Oh wait. Oh wait.
You're talking
He was in
about?
the old one.
Oh, he's on the new one.
No, but we did the old one too.
Oh, we
I
compared
think we
him.
compared them,
Yeah,
right?
we can't remember. Yeah, but
Let me go back and check.
yeah, Lakna. Well, he's like, yeah, he's one of the disciples, played by Aloe Aknoe Agbacha, and he's what do you call it? He's one of the villains, and you have the other guy, Mister Hafez, played by
Yeah,
Loon Armstrong. Like those, like yeah, those side villains. Like you don't really have them in the first one, and you just have Benny. But you have a lot of like Benny's character played by what's homeboy's name?
Kevin J. O'Connor. I just had
Kev-
it up. That's the only
yeah,
reason I
yeah,
know.
yeah. He was in this movie called Deep Rising, which I thought was pretty cool. It's pretty good
Dude,
sci-fi
yes, I
movie.
love that movie.
Yes,
I remember that was another one that I thought was scary back in the day, and I was like,
yeah.
oh
So
hell
this is
yeah,
this is like the Abyss meets like Aliens in a way, or it's like kind of crazy. And then he did the history of the Mummy, and then Helsing. He plays Igor in Van Helsing.
yeah. And you know what? Steven Summers directs that as well. I'm pretty
Oh,
sure he does.
let's find out. Let me just click that.
Yeah, take a look at
Yeah,
that.
it is
Cause I'm,
him, and he wrote it too. Wrote it, and let's dig a little deeper on this
dude, we have
character.
done neither of the Suicide Squads.
What did we do?
We did Justice League, but maybe it's on your page. I could have swore we
Oh no,
did.
we did it as a side note.
Was that what it was? The new one?
Yeah, that's why it's a
Yeah.
side
Side note,
note.
Suicide Squad. Yeah.
Side note.
All right. Yeah.
Ba-ba-ba-ba.
Okay. Well, my bad, but I'm pretty sure he's been in something that we've had before. Ah, damn. Boy, I just look dumb now. Uh
Oh, it's kind of hard, but you're doing a good job at it. You're doing a great job.
thanks.
Um,
I
I think
appreciate.
let me look at Steven Summers. So he's done. Well, GI Joe: The Rise of Cobra. That's his first bill, 2009. The Mummy, Odd
What?
Thomas. I haven't seen the Odd
That
Thomas.
one's really good.
I've heard good things. But yeah, let's see what he's done here. He's got produced, writer, 21 credits. He's the Catch Me. Oh, dude, he did Catch Me If You Can.
Ooh,
Oh, but
I
he
thought
did
that was Spielberg.
no, he did the 1989 version. Damn, he's been writing for a
Oh,
minute. The Adventures of Huck Finn, Gunman, The Jungle Book, 1994. Tom and Huck, The Wonderful World of Disney, 1997. And he did Deep Rising, The Mummy, The Mummy Returns. Oh, did Deep Rising get him The Mummy? That'd be kind of cool.
that would be cool.
He did The Ride. It's called The Revenge of the Mummy, The Ride in 2004. The
I
Ride.
think didn't they just shut that down? I think they did.
I don't know. We got to look at this trivia, but yeah,
Yeah.
he's done. I mean, he's working director. It's awesome. He's done some badass movies. I mean, the mummies are the mummies like one of, hands down. Like when I started watching it, like I watched it. I woke up at like 4:30, and I was like,
Mhm.
I'm gonna put it on, and I watched it this morning. I watched both of them back to back, and as I watched the first one, I was just like, hell yeah. But I will say that I I thought the second one because at first I totally forgot about the son.
Yeah.
And as soon as I saw the bracelet, I was like, "Oh yeah, I forgot he's stuck on the kid's son." And then it brought the movie came
Ah,
back.
he is a repeat offender, and he just snuck in with Ace Ventura when nature calls. Whew,
Who is he?
that
Who
was
is he?
close. The he is Hitu. I think probably one of the guards of the villain in
Oh,
Ace
that's
Ventura
right.
2.
He is. He is. Yeah, because he gets stepped on by the elephant.
Yeah, yeah.
That's right. So we
So
caught him. You ain't going nowhere.
we got you. We got you.
Adewale, you're not going nowhere.
Nowhere.
Beep, beep.
Staying right here on Side by Side.
Everybody, Side by Side Movies Podcast is the podcast where, or I don't know, it's a show where we catch repeat offenders. So if you've been in our show, like Brendan Fraser and Bedazzled, he's a repeated offender because he's been here. But
Yep.
he's always welcome because, I got to do it now. Bust out the corks because I got to meet my
Do
boy.
it. There he is.
Be fresh. He's freaking
Brendan
tall.
Fraser. Yeah, man.
He's freaking
Wow.
real tall. Yeah. And then I got a signature there. And as you can see, I got 2 signatures, so I was excited. There was a guy that I saw him in San Antonio in 2019, and there was a guy there that where him and I were just talking. He had a he had a cast on his arm and a cast on his leg, and he was like, he was in line with like half crutch, and he had all this Brendan Fraser stuff, like a lot, like 4 or 5, I think like 6 items. I remember he showed them to me. He's like, I see these items. I'm gonna get him. You get him to sign all those, or you only pay for one signature, and he can't make it out for you, And he goes, I don't know, I'm gonna try it, whatever. And I was like, well, you have the broken body parts, so that'll work. So he was with me the whole time while we were waiting, and then they said, hey, you can cut in front because he's hurt. I was like, all right. So he cut in front of me, and then on the way out, I saw him, and I was like, hey, did you get the signatures? He goes, hell yeah, I did. Look at these. I was like, you got him to sign all 6? He goes, yeah. He felt bad for me, but I go, how'd you get him? He was just like, I just asked him, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna ask. And sure enough, when it was my turn came around, I was like, can you make this out to my son, Maxwell? And he was like, sure. So he like yelled, Maxwell Cooper. And then I was like, hey, by the way, I'm a huge fan. Can you, my Aunt Sylvia and I watch the movie all the time. Can you please sign this one? And then can you make it out to me? So this one he signed CJ. So I should be getting Shane Astin's signature on this coming up, one of the cons coming up soon. So I get him. And then the Whistle. I thought it was gonna be Weasel. I think Brendan Fraser would be the hardest, but I got it already. So this is like I thought the Weasel would be the next hardest because I already have Shane Astin. I already met him, and
yeah,
I'm like, oh, so I already know. But I think if I could find the Weasel, it's a little bit easier than I thought. You just gotta. He's in Vegas. I'm gonna get the Weasel.
Really, I figured he would be over there by the Comedy Store.
Well, he's doing shows in Vegas.
Oh, yeah.
So he's doing that stand up. But also I think I like the cool thing I liked about the second one. And the good thing about like the returns and then the Mummy is that they brought back what's his name I know his name in real life.
Deuce Bigelow, Mel Gigolo?
Ardeth Bay is the movie, but Oded Fur.
Yeah.
They have he's Anton and Deuce Bigelow.
Yeah, dude.
He's a Mel Gigolo. Look at that handsome brown bastard.
Yeah,
he's Israeli.
He aged great. Good gracious. It just looks like he has some gray. That's it.
They picked the guy that on in Deuce Bigelow that actually looks like a real gigolo as he gets older too. Like,
right. That was great casting.
So the thing I liked is that his character is not, instead of like bringing in another new character that we have to get in to know, they give him a lot of screen time in the second one. And there's even parts where Rick's like, hey man, I need your help, bro. Can you help me get my kid? He's like, okay, I do that first, then I go get the army. And like that's so cool that like he really like what do you call it, like he gets to talk more. He's more like he was badass. Like he just, in the first one he's a complete badass. You just see him do badass shit and he's gone. This one he's doing badass stuff, but you get more of a character involved. And he does say kind of some silly things here and there just to kind of lighten up the mood, but for the most part, man, he does a great job.
And and he's almost like a background character in the first one, whereas he's more, he's definitely more prominent in the second one. Don't get me wrong. I mean, he's prominent in the first one too, because they have to put the mummy down. But this one, he really kind of shines. He's more of he's an ally than he is in the first one. Whereas in the first one, he seems more of, he slowly becomes an ally, but more of an adversary at first,
They're trying to figure out who they are.
Yeah.
And once they figure out, hey, we're on the same side. They're like, okay.
And imagine if they just killed him in the desert all those years ago.
Yeah, I know, right? We'd never have the third one.
Yeah, well, and the mummy wouldn't have ever been resurrected. So yeah.
That's, it is. I think I like about this movie. It is one of those, we left the genie out of the bottle. Now we got to put it back in the bottle, and it kind of gets you that. Man, there's a lot. I'm having playing right now. And they're super action. But that one guy, so there's that dude with the hook in the first one where he just gets his ass kicked like every stat he gets. That's like, yeah, like they poke him in the eye. He gets set on fire. It tends to like want to go slapstick, but it doesn't. It's so close.
And I think it is like in some parts it is trying to mirror like older movies. Like there are shots like right after Emotep is he I think it's the doctor guy. What's his name? He's another character actor too.
Oh, you're
Or
talking
the
about
yeah,
and
let's
the
see
first the
here.
one that burns the map.
No, the one that the other guy, the other scholar that's with the other group of people. Let's see here.
Oh,
Jonathan Hyde. That's his name in real life, and then he was Dr. Alan Chamberlain.
oh yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
hey, that sounds fancy as hell. But oh hell, I forgot where I was going with that. Um, Beauties
Well,
of being live, folks. Uh, if you
well, no,
lose
I
a
think
train of thought, what were we going to say?
no, I was saying I think you were talking about how like his
Oh,
character. Go for it.
I remember. So the shot after he gets streamed to life and Emotep like turns around and then he looks up and then you get a shot of like Emotep with you see the buildings behind him and then you see the like it's real dark outside. Like that felt like and it's like the windows were open. It felt like an old timey movie.
Yeah,
Like it really did. And I thought that was so cool watching it this time. I was like, damn, that feels like it's a shot that it could have looked better, but they chose to go with that because it looked,
yeah.
it kind of
Well, even the shot
looked
where
like
where
home.
it, where it shows he's starting to turn more human, and he eats the beetle.
Yep.
Like that angle looks cool. I mean, this is a great movie. Even I was looking. I'm here looking right now. The camels. They got the. He's like, "Hey
Teep,
Betty,
teep,
you're on
teep,
the
teep.
wrong side of the river," and they
Yep.
get the camels. And at the very end, I was like, "Dude, Benny, like, he freaking got out of the tomb, put the freaking gold on the camel that didn't want to go with him." And then he goes back. The greed, man. Then he goes back and he dies. Obviously, right? He gets
Yeah.
killed, so he dies and off screen. So it's like, dude. And then to top it off, at the very end, you see Rick and Ellie like just. I mean Evelyn. You see him like on the camel, and he has all the money there. So it's like, oh, that's how they funded all their shit. Like,
Yep.
that's insane.
So he
Like
has that nice ass house that's
yeah.
like,
So
and then
basically,
even,
Betty hooked him up.
yeah, yeah, they didn't even know it. And I love that in shot too, where you just see that like gleam of the gold as they're walking off into the desert, after defeating the mummy.
Well, I liked also the way they kind of just put you right where they left off, where Jonathan is sneaking with that girl, and he's like, "This is my house," and he's just all
Yep.
sleazy, and then like Jonathan, that character, he just sprinkled perfect in both movies, man. And then
Yep.
like the second one, when I remember watching The Mummy Returns, and he has that scepter, that spear. Like I
Mhm.
was like, oh, it makes sense, yeah. When I first saw it,
Yeah.
yeah, it's like, yeah, I'm like,
Dude,
oh, you brought it back, yeah,
well, and they really do that so well in both these movies. Like the callbacks are amazing.
yeah,
Like and just how each coincide with one another. There's not a lot of they didn't leave too many rooms for continuity errors, and
yeah,
I like that. I like it a lot. Like to do that with I mean even two movies I feel like is pretty difficult, especially if you're not on an MCU scale.
yeah,
With that one, like you really have to be on your game, but they could have easily been like, we don't care too much about the story. We just like the CGI and we're going to
yeah.
do that, easily done that. And they really didn't, and I'm glad they didn't because it was cool watching both stories just kind of like, okay, this cross paths here and this is why they're saying that here,
Yeah,
stuff like that.
it's
So
it's a good sequel. Like to the story, the way they have the Mummy and the Mummy Returns. The Mummy Returns is a good sequel to like I was thinking,
what
is it like a good standalone? Maybe, but with the way it backs up the first one, and it's not too. It's not the same. It's not the same of the first thing. We get completely different stuff, but then it brings us back.
you get to travel in the
Hmm.
second one, you get to see different places. It's a different story. It's just a continuation. It's not a retelling. And that's what makes this sequel so damn good. It actually continues the story, builds on it, and you get to see character development.
Hey, you need to take the yeah. You need to take the reign for a little bit. I gotta step away.
Yeah. No, both these movies are just fantastic. I have little to no criticisms about these movies. The Mummy, I think, was it's beautifully done, and both are, they involve everything that a good movie should involve. They involve the love story, they have the action, they have the comedy in there. That's what this movie really does great. Both these movies, actually, I feel like they balance the humor, they balance the action, um, and doing that, they also tell a very good story.
All
One that
right, I'm back. Sorry.
yeah, no, sorry, I was just singing the praises of both these movies. And another thing too is like, I know little to nothing about mummies or pharaohs or Egypts besides what I learned in like Sunday school class
Yeah.
about the pharaoh and stuff like that. And so these could be like gross. Obviously, they are gross over exaggerations of, you know, that culture and everything like that. But I think that's what's so intriguing about it. Is like you it's something you don't know anything about. Anything could happen. Like yeah, the Beatles scared the bejesus out of me too. Did
Yeah.
not like those. Them crawling inside.
But even like the villains, like there's like good bad guys. There's a lot of scummy guys in the first one. Like I want to
Yeah,
talk about that. Jessica says there are very few sequels I like more than the
yeah,
original, and this is one. Ah, yeah.
yeah. I
Uh,
do. If not, I like them the same. They are equal, if
I'll say
not
I'll say
greater
I'll
than.
say I'll say they're equal, but I lean more towards the first one. I'll give
Same.
that to yeah.
Yeah.
But the stories are great. Like if I just to read these, like I'd be like, holy crap, what's up?
I love watching the second one for the graphics. Honestly, getting to see the pyramid or the oasis and everything. The pygmy mummies were that was some of my favorite parts too.
Mummies,
Just
pygmies.
yeah, and just like the banter back and forth between Rick and Jonathan at that point is like, oh, it's nothing. Don't worry about it. It's like it sounds like something besides nothing. He's like, and then I love whenever that was another one of my favorite parts of the second one. Jonathan goes behind those. He's like, they will never cross uh, those little stones, never. And that guy follows him. Are you sure? Of
Yeah,
course, I'm
for
sure.
sure.
And that guy, that pygmy mummy, just jumps right past him and stabs that guy. He's just like, ah! They
I
both
think
are so
I think he
surprised.
got it was that the piggy buddy can't step on it, but he doesn't step. He uses
Right.
the baton or the spear to jump over, and then he stabs them. So he never actually touches the holy ground. He gets on the tree, and the guy looks at him like, "What? Sorry, my mistake." Nah, dude,
Right. And that's what's so great about Jonathan is that he is so confident about being wrong.
yeah, he's a great little brother, man. He's a
Oh,
great,
yes, man.
uh,
He
that
plays that role so perfectly of like you can't really hate him, but he's just such a like you would hate to know somebody like that and have to deal with him all the time. Like
well,
that, but you
he's not,
enjoy him being
yeah,
in the story.
yeah. You're right. Yeah, I'll tell you that much. That's
He's a lovable, shitty person. Is what he is. I think some of my favorite scenes are actually with Jonathan. Actually, in the first one, whenever that crowd of like zombies are running towards him, he's like "Imhotep," and
Immortal.
then like he that's that. But
Well,
that's
but it shows you he's a character. Like if you're to pick that character in a movie, he has like manipulation skills. He has like
yeah.
he's quick, he's witted, he's quick hands.
And another thing too, man, is if he feels like he's overwhelmed, he's going to go with the crowd.
Oh
Shows
yeah,
a lot about his character.
yeah. He's a
Uh,
sellout. Like
he's a sell. Oh, he's a sellout hard, man. If it's going to benefit Jonathan, you better believe he's going to do it. But at least he does care for his family. I mean, he does care for his nephew and his sister, and wouldn't put him in danger. And I think that's what makes him a lovable character is he's not selfish in that regard.
he's
He's
caring.
just
He's caring, but
yeah.
he's selfish, but he's caring. But
He
also, I love
doesn't
the
he doesn't
the
care about anybody outside his family. I can tell you that 100%.
I'll tell you that. Oh yeah, I love the part where he goes, they're getting in the car and he breaks the key and he goes, "Oh Alex, all your idiot part comes from me." Like anything, like he takes full blame. Like you take like that part cracks me up. Oh Alex, oh I take full idiot of your idiocracy. It's me, it's my fault. Like that's you get it from me. That shit's funny. Like he's like like we're family. I don't know. It's cool that they're like that. Man, Alex, the character in the movie, The Returns, reminds me so much of my son. And I'm like,
Dude.
damn, it's
And
gonna be.
and he's
Yeah.
so smart. Like I thought he was 10 and they're saying like, "Oh, you're 8 years old." I'm like, "Damn."
Yeah.
Like he's sharp for an 8-year-old.
Well, even though
Uh
how he gets out of the train, but they taught
yeah.
him all that stuff, and you can like, I mean, now as a father, and my kid can read, so I'm just like,
Yeah.
and he's 3, and I'm like, how the hell is it? Because I read them, I'm like, oh, because he did certain things like you spell like he knows that words will be missing, or he'll be like, hey, wait a minute, this is how you spell dad, and I'm like, or this is how you spell mom, and I'm like, oh wow, and then it's like he knows how to spell his name. And I'm just like, oh wow, like he understands things, and I'm like, these kids, they're sponges, man. They learn, but like they taught him to teach him all. And then there's that scene where Jonathan and Alex are running with the book, and then he says, we got to speak to somebody who could speak it. And then Alex is like, look, this way to the Scorpion King, this way to the
Yep.
tombs. And he's like, my mom taught me. And I was like, yeah, it's badass. Like, gotta spend time with. He's like, there's morals here in these movies. You could learn things.
Yeah.
You
And
could.
that actor does a fantastic job. I got to
Oh,
give it to
dude.
him. Like he sells it, and like I believe they're a family. Like the chemistry between Brendan Fraser and Rachel Weisz was great. I
Yeah.
mean, going from the first one to the second one, like you feel the love, like you do. You feel at the in the first one you have to, and that's what I was saying while you were you stepped away. Is like these movies, they're a love story. They are. It's you have the love story between Rick and Evie, and
Yeah.
then the love story between Imhotep and Anck-su-namun. Um, and so at the core, that's what it is. You have action, you have comedy, you have all that, but I mean, what pushes this along is love and greed. Greed and love will make a great movie.
Oh yeah,
That's all I'm
man.
saying.
Make a good time. I think. I
Yep.
mean, that's what happens with Imhotep when he's like when the
No.
girl he's like no, and she walks away and he's like, oh, it's
But dude,
broken.
yeah, dude, and like that's isn't that crazy? Like he does all this stuff. Like he's a high priest and he knows all this, but he'll give it up for love.
Oh God,
Like
yeah,
I mean, if he's not a bleeding heart, I don't know who is.
dude. Yeah,
Like
he's a romantic. He's a passionate
yeah,
romantic,
dude.
and he can't.
He,
I forget. And the both of them I forgot, but the first one you don't see it till the end, or both of them where he becomes mortal, and I'm like, oh yeah, he's just a regular dude. He's just a
yeah.
regular guy, and
Well, I think he did. He I don't know. I don't know what was going on back in ancient Egypt, but man alive, if you're cursed, they say cursed a lot too. It's cursed. There's a
oh
curse.
yeah, even that guy in
That's
the back.
in
In the
the
back.
first one.
And then the second
Yeah.
one too, he's in the back. He's like, "Oh, it's cursed, curse this, curse that."
Yeah.
Jessica says, "I love the storylines of the female characters. It's straight up powerful badassness. The women are not afraid to take charge." I did like that of the second one, where they
Yeah.
actually have a badass like both times they have two badass fights. I agree with that. They do like I actually was like, dude, they actually like are throwing down. They're throwing bows. And at the same time, I'm like, hey, there's a woman's fight scene in this movie, and there's two of them, and it's not just
And they're
they're going
well,
at it with weapons. I'm about to say tools,
exactly. And they're not
but
ripping each other's clothes off or anything like that. It's not
I'll give you some clothes trivia, with the exception of the loincloth, a few pieces of jewelry, and panties. Patricia Velasquez costume consists entirely of body paint, which took 4 hours to apply.
dang.
That's insane. And
Yeah,
also,
no, I imagine that because she does look very like it looks like she's covered in gold, like in the first one.
yeah.
When you first see
Well,
her.
also, I didn't even realize that the whole thing. Which also got to say, there's a repeat offender in the same movie. They brought back the
The
emperor,
Pharaoh. Yeah.
Pharaoh. They brought it back. I was like, oh, they brought back the same actor for the Pharaoh,
I
and
was I was looking to see if Brendan Fraser played one of those magi's at the beginning of a mummy. Wouldn't that be cool? But
oh,
I don't think he does.
he doesn't. Nah,
No.
we have to look for it. But no, but that's cool that he plays that. But one thing in the first one, he's like, "Who touched you?" And he saw the smudge. He saw the
Yeah.
smudge, and so I was like, "Is that how he like? Is that how much controlling he was? He'll put paint on her, so if somebody touched her or something, he would know. Like it'd be
Yeah.
like, like so she's
Oh,
like,
I, Yeah. Well, it's because she wasn't his wife beforehand.
Ah,
They were about to get married, and you get
sounds good.
that. You get yeah, exactly. They might have mentioned that in the first one, but you get to see it in the second one, the leading up to, uh, which I think that's good too. And another thing with these movies is they don't rely heavy on that that first part.
Yeah,
Like it's what puts the story in motion and the reason that the characters keep doing what they're doing, but it's not doing too much.
yeah,
It's the you know I can't praise that enough. The opening scene in both movies sucks you in to that story, and it doesn't let you go.
yeah.
That's yeah. I think it's hard to get that effect through movies nowadays. You know,
Yeah, it's also like at work we were talking about like, are there any movies beyond 2010 that you really remember that you're like, oh, it's just kind of like,
John Wick.
oh yeah, the action, I
I mean,
mean,
action movies, yeah. I mean, well, the only ones that you remember now are because they're so bad, like Battleship, or not even bad. Oh, hey, and Brendan Fraser has a cameo in GI Joe.
yeah,
I
he
forgot
plays
about
Hawk.
that.
He plays Hawk.
Yeah.
Yeah, he
Uh,
shows up in like the like three wheeler when they came out when those things were coming out.
yeah.
Yeah, I like a good Brandon Fraser cameo. He actually comes out in Little Dicky. And there's a scene where David Spade's character, Little Dicky, is talking to him, and he's like, "Hey, can you get me a job? Can you get me a gig? Can you help me out?" And then he kept calling him Brandon Fraser, and then the whole time he goes, "Hey, by the way, my name's Brendan." What? My name's Brendan Fraser, not Brandon. He's like, "Yes, well, when'd you change it? This whole time we called you Brandon." It's like, yeah, would you change it? It's just like, but he has a little cameo in that one. I thought that was cool. I mean, I like Monkey Bones, but I
Me
have
too.
that kind of mind to like something like that. I enjoy Monkey Bones when I first saw it, and then I enjoyed it like on when it was on TV when I'd watch it. So I was looking for. I wanted to ask you some questions about the movies. Like, what was your favorite scene? What was your favorite? Who was your favorite character?
Oh man.
And don't forget,
So
and to not forget about. Oh, sorry, real quick before I forget, the kid that plays Alex. His name is Freddie. Bouth, Bouth, Boath, and he only did a few. He only has 7 credits, and he only did a few things. But he was in The Mummy, where they go to Anubis, and then in 2013, his last credits was House of Anubis. So he's Anubis then.
he stayed with Anubis.
Yeah,
So
but yeah.
that's admirable.
Sorry, I just wanted to give him because we weren't saying his name. I don't want to like not
Oh
give him his
yeah.
credit.
We got to give him where credit is due.
But what you were
Could
saying?
because like I said, I think he was a great actor. So my favorite scene, uh, probably in the first one is probably the opening scene. Not gonna lie, just that entire opening credit, I really enjoyed. Uh, in the second one, I like the bus scene. That was probably
Yeah.
my favorite. That's what stuck out the most. Um, but yeah, with the first Mummy, that it's hard to pick like one of my favorite scenes, but definitely the opening scene was the most memorable. What about you?
And the Mummy and the first one, like the one that the scene. So the second one is the bus scene for sure. Like that really, that one sticks out. I like that one. Also I like that it's those dead guys that came out in the first one, a
Yeah.
callback, and I thought that was cool. The
Well, I
first
guess they
one,
were cremated or something. I don't know.
yeah, I guess
Like,
like they're no, he was just they're just spelled just from the book. They just you summon them because I didn't pick up the first one. Jonathan kills.
oh, I
Uh,
guess they did just turn to sand after you shot them and stuff like that, didn't they?
yeah,
Sorry,
and
what were you gonna say?
what's her name? Anixunumon.
Anaxinamoon
Anaxinamon. What do you call it? She's killed by Jonathan.
in the first one.
Yeah, he sends those things off to her and they kill her.
Yep.
So like at that scene, like I was like when those guys came back in the second one, I was like, oh shit! I never realized it was the same. And I do remember him being, you guys again. But
Yeah.
to answer the question, my favorite scene for the first one, I mean the cat part silly like that those little scenes I like, but I mean just the whole interaction with him and Benny are funny,
Yeah.
like and they're good. But I gotta say that I mean I don't really have one that sticks out. Like I do like the way they do the sand when he finds the Hamunaptra, like how
Yeah.
the sand effects happen. That's kind of cool. But as in the movie, I enjoyed the whole movie because as soon as I started watching it, I already knew it. But the second one, I forgot a lot. As soon as I started watching the first 15, it all came back to me. I remember the Pygmy Man. I remember like they fight the Scorpion King and how they killed them. Like even like fighting the Scorpion King where they're humans. Like that's insane. Cause that guy that gets his hand. Like why does he stick his hand in there?
Because he thinks that it's treasure, man. He's a curator of a museum. He's an idiot. He's not an archaeologist.
You know,
He
but
just people bring stuff to him. He's like, that looks good. He didn't ask any questions after that.
I,
Plus, he's trying to resurrect somebody. He's trying to resurrect a mummy. Like
I,
his sorry.
I like that they brought him back. Like, and they kill him, they rips him apart. I just like,
Yeah.
the guy was just like he's still like wandering around. So
But
the
dude,
whole time they're fighting, he's wandering. What's up? He's wandering around.
I love Emotep's answer to him. He's like, "Save me, my lord." He's like, "Why?"
Why? It's like, yeah.
He looks confused. Like,
Yeah, but I mean, he's just doing gibberish. It says gibberish. He should have just started talking to him like, I'm a servant. I'm a pay, you know. But it is funny because he just goes from like, oh, so I'm like, this whole time you lost your head, you've just been wandering around. Like, I don't know, like Benny's death, that's claustrophobic. I did get kind of like, That's why when he went back, I was like, oh, that's claustrophobic. I was like, ugh. And even when you find out how they killed Imhotep, they put him alive in the sarcophagus, and they put him with those beetles. Like, oh, that had to suck. And then they eat him slow. So
you see the thing that gets me every time is the nail.
Yeah,
I mean, you see how it's oh god,
like,
dude,
yeah, he's dying.
like that. Yeah, and what's I think it's funny how, or not even funny. I think it's interesting how they describe him is like, oh, he's not a dry mummy. Like he's still decomposing. Like that's, and it's been 3,000 years. Like we can't fathom that, and he's still decomposing. Like I think that is a creepy and crazy fact, and I think it's whenever they have that, whenever you have the mummy coming out at you the first time and it comes alive, and he just has that look about him, man. It's just he's so disgusting. He is.
Yeah.
I think it's cool too how in the second one he comes back like he's already got a little bit on him. Like he already has his eyes, he already has this. Which I think that's just like the way they brought him back. I think that happened because that is the way they brought him back. Like the first time it wasn't, I don't know, it feels like a different incantation. I could be wrong.
Oh, I do. Yeah. And also because remember I don't know if I brought it back, but he took the guy's eyes that were blind. They had glasses.
Yeah.
And so he can't really see. And that's why he gets confused with
Evie and Nox in the Moon. Yeah.
And then what do you call it?
But this time he didn't have a problem.
Oh yeah, no, he didn't. He goes,
because he already had eyes.
Yeah, and then I want to give it up to Winston. Poor Winston, man.
Dude, Winston wanted to die.
Yeah, he wanted to die, and then like he got to be buried real like dramatic.
Yeah,
and then he even talks about how like he's like he didn't get to go down when he's just they're depressed. Yeah. But that kind of reminded me of Poco Rosso, Like
I know, I was just about to say that.
Like, and then you're on the side of the fucking plane. Sorry, he's on the side of the plane, and
you doing
like,
all right?
Yeah, he's like,
how you doing?
I'm on the side of a plane. And the other guy's like, hey, he's all liking it. So, I mean, we could talk about these movies for a while, but I did want to give a shout out to we said his name earlier. I mean, we didn't say his name, but Eric Avari, the Dr. Terrence Bay. He's you might know him from Mr. Deeds.
Oh yes,
Deedsy. Oh, dude, yeah, he's in it. I mean, it's his when he dies a double death, but at the same time, I'm like, he just wanted to die because. He could have gone in the hole that he found that manhole and he just I'll fight him like nah dude you should come on we don't have to you don't have to stay here but also I don't think he wanted to run.
that could be it, but no, he had to stay up top or else if you constantly had people trying to get in that manhole they couldn't get away.
No, but I mean he died.
They cover the hole.
Oh, you're saying he just gives them enough time for them to cover the hole?
Yeah. Exactly. I mean, it's a necessary. I don't feel like it's an unnecessary death. I definitely see where you're coming from, but I think thinking about it like practically, you would need somebody to stay up there to block everything off because if you constantly have people coming after you, and you need it in the scene too. So
yeah, that's true. I got you.
You know what? I have to say, patience is a virtue.
Best
Come on.
served cold.
No, man. That's another one of my favorite lines from this movie. Patience is a virtue.
Oh, that's right.
Not
That's right.
right now, it isn't.
That's right now. Yeah,
Uh
yeah, yeah. That's right. That's right.
that's
Hey,
that's a good one. And dude, sorry,
keep
one
going.
more thing.
Keep going.
So the whenever Imhotep raises the mummies towards the end in the first one, uh he tells the mummies that he has raised to go wake the others. And they say something that I just like sometimes it randomly pops in my mind and I just kind of say it out loud. It's like, hiya cats. And it's like I don't know what it means, but I just know they say it and they say it like that and you go for it. What do you got to say?
Nah, I was just like, we're already at 105. We're gonna kind of talk about these movies, the back end.
Oh
But
yes.
well, yeah, I was gonna bring up that picture you sent me real quick.
Yeah, bring it up. Do it. All right, so I'll read it here. It says, "We're filming the prologue, my favorite part. The camera starts rolling. I'm standing by, and we're all waiting for Patricia to make her entrance. Instead, out starts Brendan dressed like a Moon, body paint, gold pasties, and everything else. And then the bottom picture is Brendan Fraser with a shit-eating grin, laughing, said, I wasn't even supposed to be on set that day. Arnold's face was the funniest shit I ever saw. And that is Rick O'Connell his essence in my book.
And then,
That sounds like a fun person.
but this is I thought this is like fake. This doesn't seem like it's real. Like he really did this.
Oh, dude, I feel like it's totally real.
Okay, I bet that should be funny though. He's like,
You know what? I kind of want to look it up. Let's
no, I mean I'm cool with it because
here.
I've seen this photo with like different words, but like I think it's funny that if he really
I
did that shit.
I want to believe this is a real story. I'm sorry, and if
Yeah.
it's not, I don't
No,
even
I
care.
believe.
I'm
I
still.
believe. No, I believe.
It's yeah.
I just think that's funny, right? Like if he were just to go out there dressed like that.
Yeah, I could totally see him. I don't know. You've met him in person. Do you think that's plausible?
Well, I meant. That's the younger version, so I'm pretty sure he was energetic and stuff. I meant the beat up one, the one that the internet beat up on society. I met the beautiful Brendan Fraser, but he was kind of yeah, he was. I didn't really get to talk to him too much because they had us move up real quick. But they had the Q&A, and me being there and wanting to talk to him, but not having the guts to go up there, kind of helped me with the other Q&As that I've done in the past because I didn't do it and I wanted to talk to him so bad. And you can talk about what I gathered with people. I even have it like a little bit of the interview recorded. Is he he had to deal with a lot of things and he wasn't
Yeah.
mentally prepared for a lot. I mean, I want to say he's one of the first people to get crapped on by the internet, and they picked on him a lot. And it's harmful words are harmful. So some
Yeah.
people can take them, some people can, and maybe he's had a he's a celebrity, action star, movie star. You got to go through shit. People are
An
gonna.
action star, no less. Too. And yeah, no. Look at Steven Seagal. I mean, the internet beat up on him too.
Yeah, but he's kind of a dick.
Yeah, that's true. That is true.
But look at this. The Wikipedia for the budget for the Mummy was 80 million. Box office. You want to go? You want to take a swing?
I already looked at it. It's I think it was 160. It doubled, right?
No, 416.4 million. The first one ranking some cash, buddy.
Damn. Oh, is that worldwide?
I don't know. It just says it here on the box office.
Oh, okay.
I mean, I know you like to go a little deeper
Oh,
than I do.
damn. Maybe I looked at opening weekend or something. I thought it was only like double of what it. Okay. Well,
No,
damn.
dude, look at the Mummy
That's
Returns. What did the Mummy Return?
Oh, I don't. Okay, so the budget on that, I didn't look this one up. I think the budget on that was probably about 100 mil,
Okay.
and then I think it probably brought back about 300 mil.
You're getting good at this. It was 98, so I'll give you that. So it's 100. But it was 435, which is not bad. You got the three. It wasn't too far. It was four.
Yeah.
So both these movies bring in $400 million, dude. Regardless, I don't know worldwide or anything, but they brought in that much.
But regardless, even if it is worldwide, I mean that's still impressive. I mean that's
Yeah.
$500 million for. I mean that's $1 billion between the two of them. It's $1 billion franchise.
Yeah,
That's
dude.
crazy. That's crazy.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out what the
Wow.
third one brought in.
Oh yeah,
It's-
well I forgot about the third one. Shit, I bet you the budget on that was 120 million, and it brought in probably about 200 million.
Dude, You're getting good at this. This is 145 mil, but it brought in 403.4 mil. So is this
400.
all three
All
of these movies banked. They all boom 400, 400, 400. But I bet for the third one they needed to pay that Jet Li money. I mean, they put
Yeah,
145. That's a lot.
but
That's
Brendan Fraser at that point had been. I mean, he bolstered up too because that was 2000. That was 2008. Brendan Fraser,
uh,
and then after. I mean, shit, man. That's what else? What had been? He'd been doing something in that time.
man.
I know it.
He had a lot of flops that happened like 4 or 5 in a row. Not flops, but just people weren't
Well,
you know.
the Mummy, Tomb of the Dragon Emperor. I'm sad to say is one of those flops because that could have been a really good movie had somebody had better writing. As far as dialogue is concerned,
Yeah.
um, and I didn't need all. I mean, don't get me wrong. Like I like tongue in cheek humor, but they just had too much of it in the Mummy Tomb of the Dragon Emperor. Well, from here on out, I'm going to say the Mummy 3.
Mummy 3.
You don't have Rachel Weisz, which first off,
Big
terrible
difference.
idea. There's no chemistry between New Evie and Brendan Fraser. I can't even remember her name. But I don't want to shit on the actress. She did the best she could.
Isn't that Agent
Um,
Carter?
no, it's not Haley Atwell. Um, let's see here. The story wasn't terrible. But they said mummy like 100 times, dude. Like it was like, oh, I've dealt with mummies before. Oh, I know how to kill this mummy. This is a mummy. You can call it a emperor, but that's a mummy.
I saw it in the theaters. I think I saw it again. Like I rented it like at the Redbox, and I still was like, okay, it's it didn't grab me. But let's finish up because we're running
Yeah,
down to
and
18 minutes.
I'll give you one more reason why I'm bitter about it. I didn't go see it in theater, and I just bought the Blu-ray that was $40 at the time, and I was pissed that was the result. Sorry, I don't mean to get angry about it. I'm still salty from 2009.
So you just rolled the dice right away, just grabbed it.
Yeah, how could I lose? How could I lose? I loved the first two. Like 1 out of 3. You've shitting me? Like it had Brendan Fraser. I was like, okay, maybe I didn't know about Rachel Weisz, and because I don't think she was on the poster or the cover. I'm still. This is very upsetting, CJ.
Oh yeah, when you
I'm
find
sorry.
out it's her, yeah. If you go into that would be that would wait a minute. Where's Rachel at? That would mess you up.
Yeah. So like I said, I don't mean to get worked up about it. Give me my money back. I don't Universal. All right, I bought the Blu-ray version of that.
Give me my money back.
I don't even consider it part of these two. I'm sorry. Sorry.
I have I guess we're gonna jump into scoring.
Yeah,
so
let's do it.
You got the Rotten Tomato.
So I'm pissed, man. Yeah, I got the Rotten. I don't need the Rotten. Yeah, Rotten Tomato over here is on Wikipedia. I had the first one up. I was about to look up the second one because it was a bitch to find the first one. All right, Rotten Tomato score for The Mummy, 61% on the tomato meter out of 101 reviews. That's pretty solid. That's not terrible. 75% on audience score out of 200 plus ratings. The critics' consensus on this one. It's difficult to make a persuasive argument for The Mummy as any kind of meaningful cinematic achievement, but it's undeniably fun to watch. I think that's a little harsh, but I'll take it. Because at least it didn't say it was terrible. It's just saying that, hey, it could have been better.
61 and 75. Oh, the 61's really pretty low.
The 61's low, but for an action movie that is about an ancient mummy that's technically a remake,
yeah.
I think that's good for a critic score. I think that's. I'm not surprised with that. I guess.
Yeah, and it's got a 7.1 on IMDb. So out of 417,000 votes, it's got a 7.1. Let's go with the second one, The Mummy Returns.
So The Mummy Returns has a 47% tomato meter out of 141 reviews and a 63% audience score out of 250 plus ratings. Critics' consensus on this: in The Mummy Returns, the special effects are impressive, but the characters seem secondary to the computer-generated imagery. And Yeah, I got to disagree with that wholeheartedly.
Well, that whole statement's kind of
It's
contradictory.
it is really.
I like the special effects, but I hate the CGI.
Well, and
Wait,
it's
that's the same.
contradictory
That's the same
because
thing.
the CGI is not, as you said, it holds. For the time, it was great, but it doesn't hold up. I will concede to that.
Yeah, but it's not
At least with the
horrible.
Mummy
But
Returns, the first Mummy holds up to this day
yeah,
without a doubt. Um, but yeah, no, I feel like the story is more fleshed out in the Mummy Returns.
I
I
feel
feel
like
like the story is first off a continuation, and
yeah,
also I feel like it's a good standalone story as well. You have the Scorpion King story, like an army of
yeah.
dogs coming to kill you. It's
And also too, I think like because that one, like I would have loved to seen that more practical effects, those dog warriors looking things.
oh, I thought they looked great CGI.
No, I would have liked to see more of a realistic look. Maybe both. Maybe like Jurassic Park, give me in the middle kind of
Yeah,
thing.
yeah,
But
and that's what I was gonna say too. I think that's probably what they should have done. They just
so
yeah.
I mean, even the Mummy, I just in the story of the Mummy, like that, it's almost like the movie. It's almost like a PG. I feel like it could almost be a PG movie. And I
Yeah.
think maybe there's only a few things that make it PG-13, but I think they wanted it to be PG-13. They didn't want.
Uh, probably that first scene. She's like you said, she has a very revealing outfit. So I think that may be a little bit of it. And then also, you get Rick O'Connell, who's a little bit
Yeah,
ragged around the edges.
it's
You know.
true. All right, so let's do our scores
All
because we're
right,
down.
let's do it.
We got 9 minutes. We're halfway.
Oh, all
I
right,
gotta go.
all right. So, make it real short, sweet. 13 for the Mummy. Easy 13. The nostalgia factor, the story factor, the CGI factor. Uh, I'll go ahead and give you mine for the Mummy Returns. That way, we could just go on with it. It's gonna be a 12. All right. I love the story. I love everything else about it. The reason being it's 1 point lower is because it just needs to be. The first Mummy needs to be put on a pedestal. Uh, I believe because it's up there on one of my favorite movies. It
Yeah.
really is. I could sit down, watch that movie, and be completely satisfied every time I watch it, and I love that. Um, the Mummy Returns. I'm going to be honest. I don't get as much fulfillment out of it, but I love watching it.
Yeah.
But that's why it's a 13 for the Mummy, 12 for the Mummy Returns. CJ.
Popcorn flicks for sure for me. I enjoy them. They're very nostalgic for me. I enjoy the way the story's told. I like that there's growth in the second one. It's a great sequel. It comes in like 50-50. It doesn't bleed too much. It doesn't leave anything out. It kind of brings things back in circle. I was like, oh, this is awesome. Like as I started to really pay attention to watching it, and then not just like just watching the explosions and whatnot. I got a 12 for the first one because the CGI did kind of it's I just this is what we went to school for, and then the second one only because it's Brock for sure. I give it an 11. But if these things just had like if I were to watch it with that new updated version of The Rock, then yeah, I'd be like totally be like a 13, or like it's just little. There's just little things now as a filmmaker and a film, and I understand why a lot of people were mad that the Universal monsters for the Universal Mommy didn't really come out the way they wanted. But I think these movies kick ass. Like they're damn near almost. They're just a little bit away from being perfect for me. But I
You
don't
know,
know.
you know what makes a movie extraordinary, CJ? It's that little bit extra. Okay, this one right here, that little thing. That's what
Yeah.
makes it extraordinary. Now, I'm not gonna lie. I was expecting a 13 on the first one, and
Ugh. I,
this is the first one where I actually kind of feel, uh, maybe it's because I'm still kind of fuming about that Blu-ray. I feel like you cheated the Mummy a little bit. I'm sorry. I
why is
I just
that?
got I disagree about the effects. I'm
I
sorry.
I can
I
confirm.
think they hold up.
I mean I don't think they hold up to today's. I mean like I don't think they. I mean where they could have gone in 2001 was what I'm saying.
I think
They're good effects, but for the time, but
for
they could have.
1999, I feel like those effects were solid.
But I
Now,
could
and
find.
I think that you could make them more detailed now, but I think that they
No, I would.
were.
No, I don't ever. I'd leave it alone. Don't ever go back and
Yeah,
rewatch it.
no,
But I'm
no,
saying
no.
like,
I'm saying like if you made the Mummy today, not the
yeah,
Tom Cruise version, which I'm proud that we didn't talk about that at all
yeah,
until
oh
right
yeah,
now,
yeah.
because nobody really wants to talk about that. No,
Well, that's what I'm saying. That one's even like that because like I'm not saying this is like a 12.5. Like I'm just critiquing just a little bit. I have to take away points like because it's not. I mean, you know what? I'll say yeah. You know
no,
what? There's
no, no,
not
no,
enough.
no, no, no. You.
There's not enough. There's not enough. I can give the first one a 13. I can because I really do love it a lot. The second one, that Rock, I gotta keep it on 11.
Okay, that's
Like
fine.
that
All right, you made
that's
me happy. You're good now. You
well,
can
it was like
stop
a 12
explaining
5, 12
yourself.
7. I was just kind of like, but you're right. You're right for the 1999. I just think I know that there's movies I can pick at from like 1985 to 1998, and
All
I
right.
can say they could
How
take you
about
could
how about we do this? The Faculty compared to the Mummy.
faculty. I don't know.
All
Damn.
right, those are both 1999. How are the effects looking?
Well, the effects look badass in the faculty,
Yeah, and they you got okay, but come on, man. If
but it's a different scenario, different scenes, different like you just got to make one big ass monster at the end of the faculty. Where in the
they had
mummy, it's a
tentacles and shit coming out. The
yeah.
what about Famika Jensen's head?
Oh
That wasn't a practical effect or
no, that was
was?
all CGI.
That's what I'm saying.
No,
that looked
that
goofy.
was that made look
Oh,
yeah
okay.
yeah.
Damn. Okay. All right. I kind of have to retract my argument there.
Okay,
Just a
so
tidbit. But we need to go. We need
but
to figure
I'll
out what
give
we're
you
gonna do.
we got 4 minutes, but I'll give it a 13 and an 11. I'll do that.
Okay,
That's
take
what
it
I got.
back. The 12.5 so I can stay mad at you. All right. No.
Let's do
Listen, I just want to say for anybody watching out there, how many viewers we got?
two, and I'm pretty sure one's
All
my
right.
aunt and one's a friend of mine. I think
For the
that, well, they're all friends.
two people we have out there, or three, however many there are. I do not typically try to coerce a 13 out of CJ. If anything, I'm trying to talk him out of it.
Yeah, I do the
Okay,
13s like crazy.
but I really enjoy these movies, and I want it to be known, and I want CJ to know that he knows that I know that it's a 13, and he knows that too. So
Well, the first one definitely is a 13, and I know that you know that, and then we all know
asterisk
that
by it, but yeah, no, it's fine.
now.
Uh, but
We're
I can see why you give the returns an 11.
Yeah, the
But
Rock thing for sure really took it out of it for me, and he's only in the beginning of the movie. I don't count that as a Rock at the end.
so I
Um,
mean, if we've been talking about The Rock a lot,
are we going there?
aka Dwayne Johnson.
Johnson. Do you want? I
Uh,
was gonna ask because we were talking about the Book of the Dead, so I was like, we go Sam Raimi with Evil Dead, Army of Darkness
uh,
territory,
uh,
and then I thought about Mr. Deeds. We go back to Adam Sandler, and then
I was thinking Adam Sandler too, but Airheads.
dude, I could do that. But we might
But
compare it too because that has
I was thinking, okay, so I was like, oh, my first thought was like Encino Man, but I was like, no, there has to be something else there. I was thinking for Encino Man, we could do Rudy,
mhm.
but that's kind of stupid too. I don't know. That's how my brain's kind of bouncing around. But that's the great thing about this podcast we have. There's two people, so there's two brains bouncing around, and we can combine them, come up with some badass stuff sometimes. So I think we should do The Rock.
The one with the Nicolas Cage movie.
No, I think we should do the actor, The
Oh, the
Rock.
actor. I put
Dwayne The Rock Johnson.
well, hold on. I put in Airheads on Rotten Tomato, and then I
Mhm.
looked because it gives you suggestions at the bottom. And these are some. I actually really want to do this movie because I saw it. I haven't seen it in a long time, but like Dracula Dead and Loving It, the Mel Brooks with
So we
I
can
want.
bring back Adam Sandler and Mel Brooks. Okay.
And then
Um,
I saw that, and then I saw there's Pootie Tang, Coneheads, Blank Man, and Police Academy 2. But dude, I would totally love to do Airheads, even though I just really
Airheads and Coneheads.
heads. What?
Uh, heads or tails.
We come from France. I come from France.
But there is a Coneheads too, isn't there?
Yeah,
Am I
there's
crazy?
There's Cohens and Cohenheads too. There are two of them.
Right?
Yeah, there's a sequel.
I don't
Um,
remember the sequel though. We may have to do that. Is it? I don't know.
well,
I'm
I think
kind of.
yeah, I do remember. I do. There is a sequel to that movie. I know there's a Coneheads too. There has to be, or did I not? Did I? Or
Is
no?
this?
No, there is no Coneheads. I thought there was a Coneheads too. No,
Bro,
there's not.
we both thought that. Mandela effect. Right here. You heard it. Or you heard that Mandela effect on Side by Side First. Is there Coneheads too? The
Anybody
answer is no.
watching, you can give suggestions too if you have any actors from this movie or writers or
Yes.
that are in other movies that you liked. Go
Also,
ahead,
if you're
Philly.
watching this and you saw Coneheads too as well, please let us know. So
All
we
right.
know we're not alone.
All right, so I do like Airheads, man. That was and there's
So
another. What's up?
we could go. Okay, if we're gonna do Airheads, we have Brendan Fraser. We got there from. Oh, almost took my headphones out. We got there from The Mummy. Let's do Steve Buscemi. We could Mr.
Dude,
Deeds.
I told you, like what else did I say? I said we
We do Airheads and Mr. Deeds.
because Adam Sandler. We're going back to Sandler.
Yeah, but it also has Steve Buscemi. It also has the Professor guy from the first Mummy.
Yeah, that's right. Right here for Airheads on IMDb, it has the 4 recommendations are Black Sheep, Encino Man, Billy Madison, and Half Baked.
So Encino Man, I wasn't wrong.
So we should do Airheads and Encino Man.
I think.
Or no, or you want?
I mean, it suggested it. I don't know, man. Encino Man. What, we've already done Son-in-Law.
Yep.
How do you feel about it? This is really your baby. I feel like because Encino Man is
it,
near. No. It's near and dear to you. So we got to make a decision. How would you feel about doing that with Airheads? Though
I could do that. That's easy. That's like I was that's a simple one because they go together and they both have Be Fresh, you know, and he's in both these movies, but these are the same, you know, franchise. So it'd be cool to see him like out of 2 different ones. But like, I mean, there's also School Ties. You know, there's also someone. Can we watch something that he's really good at? You know, he's also. But I mean, he's also
with
like,
honors.
With honors, like
yeah.
I love With Honors. Like,
yeah.
If we were to do that, I would like to watch like With Honors with
School Ties. I mean, that would be 2 serious roles. I like kind of doing that.
Yeah, I really do like because I want to save Encino Man because I mean I don't care, we can do it now. I mean it would be Airheads and Encino Man, but I would think we could do like if we're gonna go Brendan Fraser for sure, Airheads, and I mean he's also Bedazzled, a repeat offender, but yeah, I think maybe let me go on his IMDb real quick and then let me just check.
Furry Vengeance. All right,
you want to do Furry Vengeance? You know, because he had the George of the Jungle. Yeah, Crash. I was gonna call it Traffic, but he was in Crash.
George of the Jungle. That may not be a terrible one. They both have long hair.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I think if we're doing Airheads, I want to do it with another like another band movie. Oh, dude, let's do
another band movie.
Let's do Airheads and oh my god, I can't even think about it. What's the movie where they do the mockumentary of the band?
Spinal Tap? Dude, that was going through my head.
Let's do Spinal Tap.
Yes, I think that's it.
All right, yeah, Airheads and Spinal. Because I get what you're saying.
I bet you there are This Is Spinal Tap references in Airheads. I bet you 100%.
All right, I'm cool with that.
What band are they trying to see anyway? Or because they take over? It's because they want them to play their music.
Yeah, and then Judd Nelson is in that movie, and he plays Hot Rod in the 1986 Transformers animated movie.
You said Judd Nelson?
Yeah, he's
nice.
in it, but he's also. I think I was too late. I was trying to get a signature from him, but it might be too late. So we're doing Spinal Tap, 1984, rated R. Oh, this is Spinal Tap.
I was about to say. That's Carl Reiner.
Yeah, 1984, rated R, 1 hour 22 minutes. Comedy music. Spinal Tap, one of England's loudest bands, is chronicled by film director Marty DeBurgi, and on what proves to be a fateful tour. Director Rob Reiner, writers Christopher Guest, Michael McKean, and Harry Shearer, and stars are Rob Reiner, Michael McKean, and Christopher Guest. And we're gonna watch it. We're gonna compare it to Airheads, 1994, rated PG-13, 1 hour 32 minutes. Comedy, crime, music. 3 band members hoping for a big break head to the radio station to play their demo tape and wind up holding everyone hostage with plastic guns when the head DJ refuses to play them. Directors Michael Lemaine. Didn't we already have him before?
I don't know. Maybe.
And then writer Rich Wilkes. And stars Brendan Fraser, Steve Buscemi, and Adam Sandler. Hold on real quick. I thought we did.
I just saw Wayne's World.
God, we're gonna stay in this area. I love it. It's Hudson Hawk. But all right, let's no squeezing the juice. We're We'll get there one day, Mike. What's up, Mike? Caught us at the end of the show. Yeah, I did the promotion for this 20 minutes before the episode, but I have to go. I have to leave and squeeze the juice.
Squeezing the juice.
But you got anything you ready for next week's episode? It's gonna be fun.
Oh yeah, man. I love some Buscemi.
And then we still got we still got Brandon Fraser, and then we're doing a Spinal Tap. That's a good one. Right?
That's gonna take us to a whole nother direction, man. I love it.
Oh yeah. Well, everybody, thank you for hanging out with us. I believe next week, Thursday, will be 8 p.m. again. The SM was just for me because I gotta go do something, but we'll see. Everybody, thank you for coming out, hanging out with us side by side, and y'all have a good night. Peace.
Have a good one.